Welcome to the Chris and Sam podcast. Pull up a bar stool and join us for a random conversation, guaranteed to make you think or your money back.
Hey Sam, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. Voice is a bit sore.
My head's a bit sore, to be absolutely honest with you. For those of you listening in, we have just come back today from our trip down to Taranaki.
Yep, down to Tropfest, New Zealand's film festival.
It's the world's biggest film festival, and this is the New Zealand edition. World's biggest short film festival, I think I should say.
So we just got asked where we were, obviously in relation to where my house was on our travels, and obviously I know where I am, which is a good skill to have, and Chris just goes, I don't know, there's trees. So if you get lost, never have Chris with you. I don't know about his lack of direction either. I don't know. How is your direction skills?
Most of my life, I'm lost. I like it that way. It's great.
Every day's an adventure for Chris. He never knows where he's going to end up.
Sam and I were involved in a film that was made the final. We're going to talk a little bit about that today, and we're going to talk a little bit about our other podcast, which you may have heard something of as well.
Yes.
That's officially launched.
So this is episode number 21 of the Chris and Sam podcast, or as it will otherwise be known as probably the Tropfest episode.
The Tropfest episode.
Something like that.
You're going to put lasers or some sort of music behind my voice when I do that.
Lasers?
I don't know.
How's lasers going to work? Something like that.
I've got a headache. It was a lot of alcohol consumed last night.
We are also recording on some new software, so not 100% sure if we're going to sound a bit funny or echoey in this one. We'll see.
It'll be good. This was your first time you went to Tropfest?
Yes, and I never realised this was only the third time it's happened.
In New Zealand, yeah.
I thought it had been going for a lot longer.
Funny story is that the first year Tropfest actually started, I found out about it 2 months, I think, before the deadline. And I decided I needed to make a film.
As you do.
Yeah. And so I put out a call. I said, who'd be interested in helping out? I think I did on Twitter or something. And Sam said, yeah, I'll be interested in helping out. And I was at a takeaway waiting for some stuff. And I was like, Sam, oh my God, that's a great idea. And I literally wrote a script in the takeaway called Seeds of Passion.
And now that we think about it, you can tell that script was written in the takeaway. Sure.
Oh, come on, it was all right. What wasn't all right was my filming ability, because I was pretty new to this whole game, and I didn't get, as they say, all the coverage of the shot, so I had trouble with editing it together with too many holes. So it never got made. So you could have been in the very first Tropfest.
I could have. Yeah, it would have been crazy.
But yeah, we never finished the film. I've still got the footage somewhere. I should do something with it one day.
Don't. It's a bit scary.
But yeah, so, oh man, I'm self-conscious about laughing now. Do you know that?
No, don't worry about it. That's fine.
Anyway, so last year I helped out another team, and Sam wasn't involved. Did you? No, you weren't there at all.
No.
But yeah, we made the finals last year with a film called You Only Die Forever, which you can look up on YouTube.
Yep, I'll link to it in the show notes.
Oh, yeah, please. And so, that did really quite well. We won an award for Best Visual Effects, I think it was. And then this year, we made the finals again with Red on the Green, which I think we've mentioned a couple of times.
Yeah, we have over the last few podcast episodes.
Yeah, so it was good to see it on the big screen. The competition was stiff. There was some good films there.
There were some average ones, too. I'm going to say that. I don't care. There's some average films.
I was going to say something similar.
You were going to be a bit more diplomatic.
Maybe not as diplomatic as you. Yeah, but there was a wide variety. You have to say that. They were
definitely.
Quite different films.
Definitely. So. You never know what's going to appear.
And that is cool. What was your take, being this is your first time?
Oh, it was great. Want to be involved more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was great?
Just the people getting together and creating films. And at that event, that was the top 16.
Yeah.
And they said there was a couple more entries than last year. And I think it was around about 150 last year, roughly.
Yeah, I think it was about 150
So you're looking at like a lot of people out there doing some cool little film work.
Yeah.
And the guys have already just talked about what they want to do for next year's sort of storyline.
Yeah, our crew.
And we've sort of been fleshing that out, and I've contributed a little bit to that, which was cool.
Yeah. Well, you were part of the crew now, so you can't get away.
No.
You're sucked into the black hole that is
I am
our film crew. Yeah, well, the scary thing about that, shouldn't say sad. The scary thing about that is I'm going to be in front of the camera instead of behind it for that one.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool. It's a bit of fighting, and I'm pretty good with that. I'm all over that. It's all good.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Oh, yeah. So did I tell you some guy at this event last night that says, do you know, I've been looking at you. You remind me of Dan Henderson.
And Dan Henderson, because you've already told me the story and you've forgotten.
Yeah.
You Googled it, and he's a UFC fighter with a busted nose like you.
Yeah, because I've got a number 2 buzz cut at the moment, which probably helped. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take that. Sounds good to me. Yeah, it is. It's a well-organised event, hey?
Yeah, and you can tell that from, because you could talk to the actual organisers that were there. Definitely, and they're all over the place, eh? There's Tropfest popping up all over the world.
Yeah, they really organised the thing. So there were the organisers that fly around the world.
Yeah.
Michael and Henry. I didn't get a chance to talk to Michael this year. I did last year quite a bit, but I didn't really get a chance to talk to Michael this year. But the local guys at TAFT, or the Taranaki Arts Festival Trust, I think it stands for, they own the license for New Zealand, and they do a fantastic job, Cleo and Suzanne and co. So
yeah,
pretty pleased with that.
So one thing I should point out right now is, as we were in Tropfest, I actually had a recorder with me, and I've recorded a few random conversations and made a few observations. So Chris doesn't really know what some of those are, and I'm going to edit those into this podcast, and he can listen to it when it goes live once I put it all together.
So I'll find out when you find out.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Yeah, this is why I'm self-conscious about the laugh, because some of you will have heard of the laugh of Chris.
I have mentioned that if you follow us on Twitter or Facebook. In episode 20, Chris lost the plot and kept laughing, and pretty much teared up and was crying laughing at a story I told. So check that out if you haven't heard that already. But I cut out the audio just of him laughing, and I've been releasing that all over the place, and people really like it.
Yeah, I can't believe that. I'm speechless.
So we're just about to come into New Plymouth, and we passed a dirty-looking hitchhiker going the wrong way, so we missed an opportunity of picking that person up. And Chris just pointed out that the cloud over Mount Egmont or Taranaki or whatever you want to call it has a specific name in Spanish?
Yeah, Spanish. Levanta in Spanish. It's sort of cloud formation. It's a cloud formation that you have with Gibraltar.
So that was an amazing piece of trivia that I'll never remember. But I will remember a cloud trailing to the right of a mountain and not to the left. Also, I'm beginning to wonder what people driving towards us are thinking as I'm holding this microphone towards Chris, because all they can see is a big black round knob-looking thing. Actually, it probably looks a bit weird with me talking to myself right now. Good times all around.
Actually, talking about embarrassing things, your last's not that embarrassing, don't they?
So we've just stopped at Subway to get a feed, and Chris is having some sort of veggie thing, which apparently is food. The rest of us are having meat-based products, which is great. And he's laughing away in the corner, so wondering what was going on. And what have you done, Chris?
It appears my pants have split.
And how have you managed to do that while standing in line at Subway?
I don't know. I assumed it was done in the bag before I put them on. I just didn't notice when I put them on.
So what's the backup plan for a bag splittage? Are you hoping that the Eco Lodge people have some sort of crazy seamstress just waiting for you to bank courtesy pants? Ben's thinking they're going to have some courtesy pants.
Well, when I stay at the Park Royal, they always had cotton and needle and thread in the room, so I assume I can do that at Eco Lodge.
I think your assumption is going to be wrong. You can only check in between 5 and 9. They have a giant eel and some sort of crazy foreign tourist there, so we'll see how all that goes.
Yeah,
we better tell some stories from Tropfest.
Yeah.
So the first one is your one.
The Viking.
No, I forgot about... You tell the Viking one. I forgot about the Viking, dude.
So Sam and I are driving from Hamilton to New Plymouth, which is about 2.5 hour drive, 2 hours? Something like that. 3 hours, yeah, whatever. And, well, it passed quite quickly because we were just talking all the time pretty much. And at one point, there was a car pulled to the side of the road, and this rather unique individual got out.
Yeah, he was a cross between, like, I don't know, Sinbad the Sailor, a Viking, and...
I don't know. He just had the bushy beard and hair, really sort of fiery coloured. He had a interesting physique, like big barrel chested, big dude, and
little tiny pants on, and a ring through his nose.
Something like that. Well, we were driving like at 60 k's at that point, 60 k's an hour. So I didn't, and I was driving, so I wasn't looking at him very much. Like I saw him and went, dude. And we were just laughing. We were just talking. We're like, oh, man, that guy looks like a Viking. Maybe he's going to New Plymouth to, worship the old Norse gods or something. And we're just bantering away, He'll probably turn up at Tropfest with a helmet and horns and an axe.
And be running around somewhere.
Yeah, and we're just laughing around it. So, later on...
He's in the VIP tent.
I'm on the stage. I didn't see him there. I'm on stage.
Oh, you didn't see
and they, they're getting the first, was it first 8, wasn't it?
The first 8 directors and producers and whoever on stage.
Yeah, so directors and producers were getting on stage. So, our film was number 1. We were the first people, first film shown. So we were the first people on stage. And then they lined up the whole 8. And they forgot to read him out. He was number 5, Divinity.
Yes.
And so Kate Rogers was the MC, and she was talking away, and she got to 8, and then somebody came around and whispered in her ear, and she's like, oh, I forgot number 5, and Divinity, and he goes, blah, blah, blah. And this guy comes in, it's a Viking, and I'm on stage in front of, it's supposed to be up to 10,000 people, but it's pretty windy, so I think it was probably more like 6 at that point. And all I wanted to do was jump up and down and point back to the audience where Sam is and go, Sam, it's the Viking. It's the Viking.
It's the Viking dude.
I told this dude, I've forgotten his name now. He did tell me his name.
I want to say it's Brent.
I think it was a real normal name, eh?
Yeah,
and I was like, no, it should be Rad, Crom, or something. Not Brent.
Rom.
But yeah, I told him the story. He thought it was hilarious. He actually got to repeat it to his friend who was in the other car.
Yeah, that's how it rolls. But the next story evolving on from this is you guys are all on the stage, and because Red on the Green is the first film, you, Adam, and Sash at the front of the line next to Kate Roger. And I quickly just point out, she's got no S in the end of her name.
Oh, is it?
No, it's Kate Roger. It must drive her mental.
Because my mum's family's Rogers.
Oh.
And so I always, when I start that, they don't have a D in it, but they're Rogers, Rogers. And so I just automatically like that. Yeah.
So anyway, she's doing a bit of emceeing and stuff, and they're about to go off the stage, and what happens is, because it's the Bowl of Brooklyn, she's quite far away from the crowd, and there's a cameraman with his camera trained on her, and it's getting beamed above everyone's head on stage on this massive screen. It's the same screen they show the movies on.
Yeah.
And in the same shot as her is Chris. And when they're about to leave, he sort of looks at her, gives her the shadiest look you can imagine, and then does some weird eye movement where he sort of raises his eyebrows like, hey, how you doing? And he doesn't know it's on the big screen.
I don't know. It's on a 40-foot screen behind
and we can't stop laughing in the audience because we think that's great. And big shout out to Ben for actually capturing that on his phone. That's where I got that image from.
So here we are. We're at Tropfest 2015, and all 16 films have been played, and we're just waiting for the judges' announcement. So Chris and Adam are on behind the stage lurking. Chris will be lurking and giving the funny eye to Kate Roger again. Look forward to seeing that on the big screen. So Paige is sitting next to me, and first impression is it's bloody cold. What do you reckon about the films?
Well, yeah, it is bloody cold, but I reckon that I'm quite confident about Red on Green. Oh, God, I'm so cold. But we're still going to win, aren't we?
I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty certain it was one of the best films there. There were some good standout ones. I like the moving guy one. What about Ben? What does Ben reckon?
My money would be on the World War I film for obvious reasons. I think that'll be a strong contender.
That was very good. Very good.
Production values for me were the main thing. Like costumes and props were 100% accurate as far as I could see. And
I too was looking at that to see if there was anything that didn't look right.
Yeah.
They looked really good.
Yeah. No, I think they had a lot of help. And it definitely showed. I was interested to see how they would tell a war story on the small scale. They did pretty well.
And quickly, Ben and Sash are getting some coffee vouchers for interacting with us via either the web, Facebook page this time.
Ben is getting them, and Adam's getting them.
Oh, sorry, Adam.
Adam did.
Sash, none for you.
None for
you better comment on the Facebook page, dude.
He's got to do some work.
Yeah.
So anyway.
So that was pretty cool.
And then then Sam's going to put his foot in it, and I will let you tell that story because
there's a guy sitting 2 rows in front of us, and he looks so familiar. I can't place him. I know him from somewhere. I'm pretty certain I've met him, actually.
Actually, can I interrupt just for a second? So, in this group of people, and they all are going to listen to this, so I hope they don't take any offence to this. But in this group of people, I think it's fair to say Sam and I were the ambassadors for our group. We were the ones that were expected to go and talk to people.
Yeah.
More so than anybody else. Adam doesn't really like to talk to people much unless he knows them, sort of thing. And Ben and Sash aren't that bad, but they're pretty happy to talk amongst themselves. So we actually were getting into that whole ambassador role a bit. So as soon as this starts happening, and Sam's like, I think I know that guy. There's this sort of impetus or expectation that he has to go and talk to the dude.
I need to find out who he is. I'm sure I know him. So it's a half-hour break between the 2 sets of 8 films. And I'm like, I'm going to go get some hot chips, which was an experience in itself. But this guy's walking away, and I just go straight up to him. I shake his hand, and I'm just like, I'm sure I know you from somewhere. And he looks at me and goes, oh, okay. He goes, I said, you look really, really familiar. And he goes, you look really, really familiar to me too. I'm like, okay, that's good. That's good. That must mean we do know someone. And then in my head, a light bulb goes off. I'm certain I've met him at the Spark Unconference in Auckland. So I ask him, have you ever been to the Spark Unconference thing in Auckland before? No, I haven't. And then he looks at me dead in the eye and says, I am Andrew Little, the leader of the Labour Party, though. And I'm just like, holy crap. The reason I recognise him is because he's on the news all the time.
On TV, ranting at people all the time, man.
So it was a bit embarrassing, and I just said, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." And he goes, "No, it's fine. It's just I'm out of context, so it's hard to work out who I am." And that was all good. And then I gave him a business card, just like that. Boom.
Yeah,
smooth as. And then he never came back for the second half.
Did he? Because I didn't see him.
No, I might have scared him.
Yeah,
hard to tell.
Now, this software stuff that we're looking at.
Yeah.
I see. It doesn't move along. It's got the beginning at the beginning, and so it's shortening it.
Yeah, the whole track's at the top. It's that little bar at the top.
Yeah. Right.
We have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, so sorry for that aside, and the garage door.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
you're used to that at the Chris and Sam podcast.
Sam's going to edit this out, isn't he?
I think I can actually edit that sound out now. Just that sound.
Oh, technology.
With everything else going.
Technology is awesome. I just think you should edit my waffle out about the technology we're using anyway. But that's all good. So,
and it was ultra cold, completely underdressed, and
so if you
thought it was
ever do go to Tropfest, the point is that in the afternoon it's really hot in the bowl. It was a hot day. It was a beautiful day. Unlike the previous year, there was quite a breeze. So last year there was nothing. It was still, and it was still warm at 9-10 o'clock. It was great. I was in t-shirt and shorts last year. This time I didn't even bring a jacket, and it was windy all night long. And yeah, needed a blanket or a jacket or something. So even Kate Roger stole one of the guests' jackets.
Yep. And it was all good. We were staying at the Egmont Eco Lodge. Better do a shout out to them. Wow, on their website they mentioned a giant eel that you could go feed, so I had to go find that.
Apparently it's this morning thing after thing now. Didn't really drink last night at all, but sound rugged because my throat is stuffed because I spoke so much last night. But definitely, got in just before 2. That doesn't work well for me. Chris seems normal as.
I drank a lot, I'm pretty sure, including a bottle of wine while I'm walking through the streets. Yeah, but no, pretty good. Good showers here. So I'm looking forward to going to breakfast soon.
Breakfast sounds amazing. My voice doesn't though. But, what do you expect? You're not paying anything for this. You just take what you're given, okay? With your free podcast. So here we go. We got a lollipop each, and we got some money back from the key. Would you like to say something about the Eco Lodge that we're staying at?
I love to stay here. It's a beautiful place.
I'm sure I saw on the website there's talk of a giant eel. Where's that?
Where is it?
Down the stream, just down there. I might go for a wander. Awesome.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much. That's the Egmont Eco Lodge is where we stayed. let's go find a giant eel. So we've found our way down. I'm sucking on the world's weirdest lollipop, by the way. I don't know if it's going to help my throat. Found our way down to this little stream. Oh, and there's an eel. There is an eel. Excellent. I'm so glad. It's not a giant eel. It's just a normal-sized eel. But I am sort of perched on top of, precariously on top of some rocks and jandals. So I'm not too keen to go any further down. But I am happy that I have now seen the eel. It has made my weekend.
It wasn't giant, the one I saw, but I did see an eel, so I was quite happy.
Yeah, and as I pointed out, it's a very small stream, so it was
pretty big for a small stream.
Yeah, the eel was a reasonable size for that.
Yeah, so that was good.
So
what else happened?
What else happened? Well, we met some cool people.
There's some very cool people lurking around.
Yeah, so, and Sam's looking at, what are the warning lights flashing on this computer module in front of me? Yeah, so the other thing, the big news that we need to talk about is our new podcast.
Yes, we can now talk about it. It is now live online on iTunes. Still haven't heard back from Stitcher yet, but don't worry about that. And it is the
New Zealand Filmmakers Podcast, or the NZ Filmmakers Podcast.com.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can explain what the whole story is, because this is your idea, and I've just been
So the
putting it together.
tagline is a Kiwi on a quest to become a better filmmaker. And so Sam and I are both involved, but I'm the host, so Sam's sort of doing the techie.
I do the behind-the-scenes things. And try and make Chris sound a bit better.
Yeah, it's a full-time job for him, really.
It's starting to feel like it.
So anyway, the whole idea is that I'm obviously, as you can tell, into the film thing. I want to get better at learn how to be a better filmmaker. Best way I can think of doing that is talk to people that actually know what they're doing, unlike me.
Yeah, as opposed to just faking it till you make it.
Yeah. And I figured that the best way to get in front of all these people was to have a podcast, because that gives me an excuse to ask them all these questions. So the whole idea of this podcast will be that I'll be interviewing different people from all aspects of the filmmaking industry or activity. So from our first one that we've already is up now is Julia Reynolds. She's a director, but we're not just going to interview directors. I want to interview actors, stuntmen, gaffers, grips, all the guys that do all the different things.
When I explain this, I always say caterers, and people are like, "What?" And I'm like, "Caterers." And someone agreed with me yesterday. Yeah, you should have them on there, because there's really good caterers and really bad caterers. And the really good ones really know how everything works.
Yeah. Yeah, I walked in on that conversation, didn't I? I'm like, what are you talking about caterers? I don't know if I'm going to interview any caterers. But now you've said it, I suppose we've promised it. So if you know any really good movie, film, studio caterers, let us know. Actually, when I did went to telecom ad shoot for Tech in a Sec, they had brilliant caterers come around.
Yeah.
And I should find out what company that was. I wasn't paying attention. This was a year ago or something. So that's the thing. I'll be interviewing all sorts of different people. So if you're into filmmaking, check that out.
Yep. And it's a way to find out a little, bits and pieces of information. And we're hoping that eventually, with enough people that we're going to get interviewed, it's going to start creating a bit of a networking sort of...
Yeah, we want to build that community platform
thing.
Yeah. And so what we want to do is, eventually we'll have some events and stuff like that. One of the questions I have got asked, and I want to sort of answer that now, because it actually doesn't say on the website, and we might have to change that.
Okay, here we go.
Is how often do you guys put out a podcast?
Yeah.
So Sam and I discussed this a while ago, last week really, when we were doing everything.
It was a bit of a rush to get everything up and running before Tropfest.
Yeah.
So we could actually have something so people could listen to.
Yeah, so we were doing a lot of networking at Tropfest. It was great. Giving out our cards all over the show. Hopefully they don't all just get binned, but we'll see. We have decided that we're not going to go with any arbitrary scheduling. We're not going to say we put something out once a week or once every month or whatever.
Which may sound a bit crazy.
Yeah.
But we want to produce a quality product. And we have to work in with the people we're interviewing.
Yep.
And sometimes it's hard to track these people down because they're very busy being awesome.
Yeah, they're busy being awesome. I like that. That's brilliant. So we're going to do it when we do it. And they'll be there. The podcasts we're going to be doing, the interviews we're going to be doing are evergreen interviews. They are things that this one
they'll be timeless. So you
Exactly.
can listen to them at any point and pick up something from these people.
Yeah, 2
Yep.
years from now, you'll
Yep.
be able to listen to that interview we've already got up with Julia, and
Yep.
you'll learn something.
Yep.
And it's awesome content. So big shout out to Julia Reynolds for that. That really appreciate that. So yeah, check out that podcast, particularly if you're into film. If you're not into film, don't worry about it.
Yeah, it is a bit of a niche podcast.
Yeah.
So you just have to listen to us on this one,
Yes.
where we talk about all the important things.
And are you going to be doing another podcast? We're going to
I
do
don't
another
know yet.
offshoot.
I haven't
Yeah.
worked that out yet.
We'll get this one running. Up and running
just
properly
one
first.
thing at a time.
Yeah. You know me. I have a problem with one thing at a time.
You do.
Yeah.
Back to the Tropfest. I actually we came back separately. I got asked to bring a car back for my flatmate for her work, and that's really nice of me because I'm awesome like that. So I did that, and Chris drove all the way back. But where did I stop, Chris? Where do you think I stopped? Go. What do I always seem to talk about on these podcasts? I don't know why.
A museum.
Yeah, I did.
You found a museum
Yeah.
on the way.
In Mocal.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, here's some photos. Look there. Yeah.
What are you looking-
I've got this photo, and I'm going to put this up on the Facebook page, and I'll do that before the episode comes out. What do you think all that is? This was the only interesting thing in the museum, by the way. Everything else was there. Everything else already in the museum is stuff I've already seen before. But there was this weird collection of things on a wall, and I had to find the tag to find out what that was.
What is that?
What do you think that is?
Communication devices?
That's what I originally thought from a distance.
Yeah.
No.
They're not?
And then that thing in the top left with the rings?
Yeah. It looks
Yeah,
like,
that throws you.
it looks like something Batman would wear around his waist.
Yep. So that'll get the Podfella guys excited. They'll want to see this photo. No, they're dog training. They're dog training collars.
Oh, what?
Yeah, and I also saw a thing that we may need for the podcast coming up. That
What the hell is
I
that?
don't know, but it looks impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a TV in a tin.
Yeah. So I'll share these on the Facebook page.
Yeah, and put them on the
There's a
show
photo.
page.
Imagine an eel under that rock too.
Well,
you see that photo?
You don't have to imagine because there was an eel
Oh yeah, I
under the
know,
rock.
but you can't see it
You
in the
just
photo.
can't see it, so a bit slow on the photo. We didn't have any bread to get it out.
No.
That would have been cool.
I think that's pretty much it. Well, it's almost us.
Yeah, well, we do have our new film that we want to do for Tropfest next year. We started talking about that. So
We're not going to mention it though.
we're not going to talk about it.
No.
Although, if anybody knows anybody with some set building experience,
That'd be pretty handy.
Give us a yell.
I think the sets are fine. It's just going to come down to money.
Well, we need a warehouse to put the sets in.
Yeah.
So some additional warehouse space would be nice.
Yeah.
So if anybody's got any ideas on that, that'd be cool. Let us know. Yeah, so I suppose that's it. For
That's it. Because
our
remember,
bonus.
I am going to splice in the awesomeness later.
Oh, God.
So you'll hear that before this bit, and it should be great.
And please don't download the laugh of Chris as a ringtone.
Oh, you have to wait until I build the whole website around that laugh. I'm doing that later.
Oh, no. It's even started, our friend Carl, who we've had on the show before, ambushed me in the pub the other day. Like, he's talking about something or other, and he angles towards this, about that laugh of Chris thing. And so I explained it to him, and I'm laughing about it. And unbeknownst to me, he's recording me laughing about it again.
And then send it to me.
And sends it directly to Sam.
Technology's great.
I was like, you bugger.
So that's awesome. So until next time, we'll have a normal update in the next podcast episode.
If you check out Tropfest New Zealand,
Yes.
there will be all the films will be up there, the finalists.
Yep.
They're probably not up there today, but by the time you listen to this, they should be.
Yep.
If you go in and see what you think is the best one that you like, you don't have to watch all 16, obviously. You should watch number 1, Red on the Green.
Red on the Green. Seriously,
that's
it's pretty good.
That's our one. But tell us which one you... Oh, and just so you know, the one that won was number 16, which is called Every Moment. But so it's definitely worth watching that. It's a very good film. But see which one you like, and if you make a comment on either Twitter,
Facebook, the
or
website,
Facebook, website, whatever.
Bat Signal, whatever.
Yeah, with what you think was the best one. We still have another Urge copy voucher that we can give away.
Yes, that'd
and
be
we'll
great.
do it for that, eh?
Yep, sounds good.
All right, so
Okay.
until next time,
I'm Sam.
And I'm Chris.
And this has been the Chris and Sam podcast, episode 21.
Tropfest.
Hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to subscribe and we'll catch you next week. Don't forget to tell your